Hey guys, wanted to share with you a little behind the scenes look at what it's like in Ohio Stadium on an Ohio State football home game day a few hours before kickoff. So right now, it's about 4 hours to kick off of the Tulsa game. And there are not a whole heck of a lot of people here. Some few media members just starting to arrive, team support staff here, that kind of thing. But the red coats are here to start, guarding the gates and setting up to let people in the stadium. But there is not a whole heck of a lot of people here right now. So right now we are in the southwest tunnel. This is a tunnel that the visiting team comes down. So the visiting team their locker room is right up there, right there. That's where they'll be coming out of their locker room. They'll come out, down that tunnel, all the way down and out onto the field when they get here. The teams typically get here about 2 hours before the game. So the visiting team comes in on the southwest corner, the home team comes in on the southeast corner. So there's the tunnel out to the field, but I'm going to show you a little underneath south stands. There's a little spot underneath south stands that most people don't get a chance to see. We'll take you right in here. So this is kind of a multi-purpose area that they have underneath the south stands. They keep this stuff for the cheerleaders down here. Their cheerleaders will come in here and get water during the games and that kind of stuff, and store their flags and all that kind of stuff. But they have equipment stored for the football team. There's some stuff that the defensive line uses, for example, during some of their pregame warm-ups, tackling dummies, that kind of stuff. Got a little room for Brutus in there. Ice cooler, all sorts of real mundane stuff that you need to actually make a football game day run. This is also where it's also the photo work area. So the photographers, TV people, just have some tables down here with some power supplies. Nothing fancy, but enough to be able to do our jobs. They have areas set up where you just have a little section of the table taped off. You can set up your laptop, dump your photos off of your memory cards onto your computer and start processing your photos. They store all the equipment down here, leaf blowers, that kind of stuff. They use leaf blowers to blow the garbage out of the stands after the game. Have some extra goal posts here, for example, stuff like that. Just all the stuff you would need to have a home football game, and replacement parts and all that kind of stuff. This is where a lot of that stuff gets stored. And it's just underneath south stands. Right above our heads is where the Ohio State marching band sits. So this is the southeast tunnel. This is the one the Buckeyes will come down. So they will come down here. The team gets here about 2 hours before the game. They start on the north side of the stadium. They walk down that ramp, the same ramp that the band comes down after they go to skull session. Walk down that ramp, walk down across the field, come back up here, up this tunnel. Their locker room is right up here. I'll walk you up to the locker room right now. But here's the tunnel the Buckeyes come down before the game. They'll go right up this tunnel about 2 hours before the game to go into their locker room, start getting dressed, start getting prepared. They walk over in suits, change into their uniforms, and come out for team warm-ups about an hour 45 or so, an hour 40 before the game starts is when we start seeing the first players for real. So we're walking up the ramp. If you know Ohio State, that is the RPAC up there on the far side of the fence, the recreational building for the students to use. Ohio State's locker room is right over here. Go right down here. It is the first door on the right there, right next to that red trash can. That's where Ohio State's locker room is. So they'll come out of there after they're dressed, come down here, and right down this tunnel. I'm gonna walk you back down the tunnel. This is where the players will come down before the game. When you see them running out, it starts with them walking down this tunnel. They have banners for undefeated seasons. Ryan Day's motto of fight up there. So they'll come back down here. Right above the tunnel, they've got some lights. They will shoot smoke out, basically almost like fire extinguisher smoke that comes out of those little nozzles there. When the team runs out, they run out here. Now, if you look to the left, that is the pyro. They're setting up the pyro for today. When the team runs out, they'll shoot fireworks off, and there's flames that come out of the top of there. So that's that. They have one on each side there. And they run out here, right over to that far bench. There's the Ohio State bench on the left-hand side, visiting team bench on the right-hand side. So that's just a little behind-the-scenes look at Ohio Stadium. This is, again, like 4 hours before the game, so there will be about 100,000 people in here in just a couple hours. They open the gates to fans about 2 hours before the game, but right now, probably just a few hundred. Not a whole heck of a lot of people in here, but it'll be full shortly. So hope you guys have enjoyed a little behind-the-scenes look at what things are like in Ohio Stadium before they let the fans in, before the teams get here on an Ohio State game day. Thank you guys all for watching. Make sure you check out BuckeyesScoop.com for fantastic coverage of the Buckeyes, behind-the-scenes stuff like this, insight analysis, and much, much more. BuckeyesScoop.com.